Hello and a warm welcome to UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m. My name is Sharon Chomdish and I'm being joined by Mugalu Mohammed on sign language in our top stories of the day. In UBC News Tonight, Museveni assures the country of sustainable peace and development. Unionists task government to plan for an efficient workforce. Muslims urged to carry forward Ramadan discipline. Still coming up, 378 guns from cattle rustlers banned in Equator. In our top stories of the day, Mama Anna Mariam Kaluyenda Nakampi of Chijaguzo Parish, Samto in Nakaseke District, has been awarded with a Luero Triangle Medal in appreciation of the support and continuation and contribution she offered to the NRA liberation struggle by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Speaking shortly after the Thanksgiving Mass to celebrate the life and works of Mama Maria Nakampi at St. Mary's Catholic Parish, Chijaguzo in Nakaseke District, President Museveni congratulated the celebrant for making 80 years old and also thanked the Almighty God for giving her the gift of a long life.
Museveni, who was accompanied by the first daughter, Natasha Museveni Karugere, gave a brief history of the struggle in the jungles of Luero, said Nakampi and her connections played an important role in housing, feeding and doing reconnaissance for the then NRA combatants, enabling them to trek at night to avoid police.
Atinjagala kushima okwewayo kw'abalwanyi ng'omukadde Nakampi ab'omu kitundu kino eky'Oluweero Nakaseke. Twajja wano tuvudde Siilo kubanga twatuuka Kiboga ennaku z'omwezi 6 Ogwokubiri olunaku olwo twakuba Kabamba.
Museveni said that while at Kijaguzo, they were given assistance in terms of housing, feeding and doing reconnaissance for them and directing them to hidden routes among others.
Netusala town kati egeze edda town bwali buyumba butono nga 6 awo eno yona yali nsiko waliwo akaguuto ketwayitangamu ne tuyingira mu wabikokoma tetuyise mu town kubanga town walimu abapoliisi ba bote twayitanga abapoliisi bali eyo basumagira naife tugenda mu maaso. Omwezi gwa muna nayitamu kati bwe twava eri emigadde ne tudda eno ne tusala okugenda okukuba Kakiri obote yali ataddeyo amagye ga UNRA.
He appreciated them for their tremendous contribution and commended the residents of Kijaguzo for contributing towards the liberation struggle. Museveni cautioned Ugandans against destroying swamps and wetlands, which he said help in keeping water and filtering the water. He instructed the sub-county chiefs, parish chiefs, chief accounting officers and resident district commissioners to guide the people and protect the wetlands.
President Museveni has castigated practices of wealth inheritance, blaming them for fueling laziness among his able-bodied people. Museveni challenges Ugandans to take advantage of the prevailing peace in the country to embrace agricultural production for both subsistence and commercial purposes. Addressing Labour Day celebrants at Kololo Crypt ceremonial grounds, Museveni encouraged Ugandans to adjust living standards to the prevailing economic conditions. Details follow.
The head of state arrived as early as 11 a.m. at Kololo ceremonial grounds. He was here to lead Ugandans in commemoration of World Labour Day. Boots on the ground. The parade was mounted by officers from the UPDF, Uganda Police Force, and Uganda Prison Service. In both slow and quick march past, they made the ceremony colorful. But behind this march past was a serious message of embracing production for not only subsistence, but also commercial.
If you have got land, agricultural land, don't only work for the stomach, for eating only. Teach me each keken, as they say in Luo. Also work for the pocket, food security and income. Work for the stomach, but also for the pocket. But number 3, do so with a chivaro. A chivaro, chura, as they say in Luo.
Museveni's message on prosperity was in total disagreement with the idea of inheriting wealth, describing it a catalyst for laziness.
It's really a shame when you see all these groups. You look at the Europeans, a man like Henry Ford died long ago, even before Kaguta was born. But the wealth he left is now bigger, much bigger than what he left. But Africans here are like ants. Enkuyege. Akatono mugenzi kalese, bakali ne bakamarawo. Shameful, disgusting.
The challenges of rising commodity prices did not escape his mind. To this, he advised Ugandans to adjust on their lifestyles as long-term solutions are sought.
The problems were originally caused by nature, corona. That one caused us problems, but we survived. And I told you very firmly, because me, I'm not just, I'm not a politician, I'm a freedom fighter. And they were telling me, you know, what? Please, the issue now is not losing jobs, is not pregnancy of young children. Those are problems, but the problem now is dying or not dying. So how can you compare? How can you compare problems ebizibu with okufa? If you don't know the meaning, at least put it in your local language. It will be clearer. Because these other issues, there is war in Ukraine and Russia. There will be no bread. If there's no bread, eat mohogo. Mohogo is here. What is the problem? You know, Africans really confuse themselves. You are crying that there is no wheat. I don't eat bread myself.
Museveni, who assured Ugandans of peace, underscored the need to promote extensive irrigation to reduce dependence on rain-fed agriculture.
Because the rain was becoming delayed, actually, it delayed. Instead of starting in March, it started in April. So I think as a country, we should plan that in the next budgets, maybe in the other, we are now not able, but deal with the issue of irrigation so that we don't depend on this. Once we do that, for me, I'm not concerned with anything. If whoever wants to, Uganda has got everything. There's nothing we lack. It is a question of just waking up.
Earlier, the Chairman General, National Organization of Trade Unions, Asha Wilson Owere, raised a number of workers-related concerns, to which the President responded.
But since you have given the science people and it is in the budget. I also request you don't forget the arts people, because they are the ones actually who are very close to you.
If I dismiss the HRM of solidifying school, I will get another one tomorrow. Who will accept but the pilot, if he goes away to the airline, the school will close. So please, let's give the market price. Let's use the principle of market price. What will this person now get on the market price? And in the end, we shall pay all of them well. But if we can't pay all of them, rather than saying we lose everybody, I don't think that's a correct way.
The event was crowned with different medal categories awarded to different people for their distinguished service to the nation. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Well, thank you so much, Henry Okrut. In more stories, the Vice President and Member of Women Member Parliament for Katakwi District, Major Retired Jessica Lupo, has asked public servants to promote the interest of the public and put service of the public above service to self. The Vice made the remarks during a Thanksgiving Mass of Engineer Boniface Okanya, a Commissioner of Agriculture Mechanization and Water for Production in the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. We have details on this story.
The Thanksgiving Mass was organized by the family of the late Vincent Okoboy and Leticia Akia in honor of the recent appointment of their son, Boniface Okanya, in the civil service as a commissioner. Vice President Alupo hailed Okanya as dedicated, honest, steadfast, and hard-working civil servant.
I think we have a leaf to pick from Engineer Okanya. Let's do our work. And he does it with enthusiasm. He answers you an answer which is accurate. Even if it is to tell you that that one is possible after 1 year, he will tell you that. But he will also tell you that that one is possible after 1 week, or after 6 months, or after 1 quarter. So, Engineer Okanya, that is one of the things that has earned you integrity. Always speak the truth. And I have not seen his name anywhere near that word which many people fear to mention, that word called corruption. His name has not featured anywhere. So I would like to advise you, Engineer Okanya, to continue pursuing that line.
The Vice President also advised the congregation to focus on economic empowerment and development as government continues to provide peace and security, especially now that there is full deployment against the rustlers. The Minister of Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, and the Minister of State for Animal Industry, Bright Ramirama, described Engineer Okanya as a fine gentleman and one of the best performers in the Ministry of Agriculture.
This Engineer Boniface is really a good worker, one of the best groups of workers we have in the service. And thank you very much for this.
My relationship with Okanya is on the job. And I came to know him, and I came to support him because of his competencies.
Commissioner Boniface Okanya described his life as simple, rising from a village boy to securing a job whose instrument was signed by President Yoweri Museveni.
Honorable Dr. Bright Ramirama was the first minister to give me a chance to fly in agriculture. He didn't know me. When you see him here, it's not that he's coming because I'm working with the Minister of Agriculture, no. it is the work. Our relationship is work. If we want church or love, it is outside work. When we meet in work, it is work.
Etole Ed Archangel, UBC News.
Still about Labor Day, unionists still about Labor Day, I beg your pardon. We have delayed acquisition of land has been cited as one of the obstacles to industrialization in Uganda. Now, this postpones industrial development, which not only delays economic progress, but also employment creation. We have this special story from Equator.
There are some Badama there and some Bateso there. To compensate them, they needed 40 billion shillings to compensate them. Madvan said he had no money to compensate them. Then the government tried to say, okay, we shall compensate them, but you look for the money to build the factory. When we were still struggling with that, the Chinese come. When they come, they said, that's all rubbish. We shall compensate these people. They compensated them and they went away. 40 billion cash, they paid them.
For the last so many years, Africa has moved to industrialize from small scale to large scale. Some countries have progressed. Uganda has been and continues to be part of the revolution. Land has been secured, including this one for this phone and computer manufacturing plant at Namamve Industrial Park. Grounds have been broken, including this one for vehicle manufacturing plant at Mbale Industrial Park. In all instances, the results have been visible for all to see.
For the first time, we are not going to be importing these computers from China, from US, from all over the world, but we will be buying them from Namamve Industrial Park. What a wonderful, what a joy for a country like Uganda.
We now have electricity, and we are going to have more electricity. We are going to solve the problem of transport costs, by building the railway.
Equipment has been purchased and imported. Skills have been imparted, and youth have been employed.
We are working on the small phones, and next year we shall assemble smartphones plus laptops.
Actually, the first day can be hard, but after you teach this, they can be easy.
This milestone is part of the Ugandan government position of establishing industrial parks across all the regions of the country. This ranges from foodstuff manufacturing plants to fabric making factories, as well as textile industries. Evelyn Anite is the State Minister for Investment and Privatization. Her recent visit to Bugiri Sugar Manufacturing Plant in eastern Uganda, whose establishment is underway, affirmed the government position.
Because what is in it for me, what is in it for the president? It is the jobs. It is the reduction on our import bill and increase on our export, because we want to export more. We want to create jobs.
But not everywhere has it been smooth. This is the Sukuru Phosphate Factory in the Eastern District of Tororo. It is a project introduced by Guangzhou Dongsang Energy Group to manufacture steel and fertilizers. Originally valued at over $600 million, the project suffered a legal blow over land ownership wrangles. This followed a claim by a Chinese businesswoman called Fang Min. Acting through her lawyers, she accused the group of fraudulently expropriating a 26 square kilometer mineral site in Osukuru sub-county. The matter was also brought to the attention of the head of state, and this is what he advised.
I advised them, I said, if you are quarreling with the other Chinese, if you are quarreling with Fang Min for compensation, That issue of compensation can go to court, but it should not stop the project. Should not stop the project.
Moments later, the Commercial Court of Uganda took a decision. To his disappointment,
I heard that a court had stopped the man who had put $630 million on the ground. It's really not. Why stop? Why? If these people are quarreling about who, they can solve that. Why do you stop this?
Such are some of the obstacles that developing countries suffer in their quest for industrialization and development. Uganda is no exception. Unfortunately, the implications are always negative.
This is not just constitutional mandate. It is historical mandate. Remember, this project has got money from banks. And any day you delay, interest is accumulating. The money is not producing. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. There's no way you can say that you are serious, that you are a judge or what. I may not be so clever, but certainly I can see that you are not serious. What are you looking for?
This does not only deny the country development, but also employment opportunities to would-be employees. This is why government's ability to acquire land for industrial development should be strengthened.
Because if you say that we want to have land in Western region, let me say, you find the land belongs to individuals. So it becomes too expensive for government to acquire land from the individuals and give it to government itself so that we can put a huge plant that can be able to help us to accommodate those numbers of youths who are unemployed.
In this regard, Parliament has a role to play.
We must help government to create land for industries. Without industries, automatically you cannot be in a position to accommodate all these number of youths that are educated but not employed.
The country's population is growing. The youth are educated, graduates are increasing, yet jobs are scarce. The answer is in industrialization, whose success partly depends on overcoming obstacles, including land acquisition. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okrut. Now, workers have been asked to advocate for their rights at their respective workplaces and the employees to stop over-exploiting the workers. Advocates for workers' rights say employers take advantage of employees who were desperate for employment to violate their rights as well as over-exploit them, a matter that continues to worsen employers-employee relationships.
In Uganda, 25% of workers go through hardships, with their rights being violated by their employers and sometimes by fellow workmates. Despite the shrinking employer-employee relationship, there are other challenges often faced by employees at workplaces, and these include inadequate pay, work without pay, sexual harassment, lack of required equipment to execute their duties, and employers not remitting their social security funds even after deducting it from their gross pay. This has impacted on the lives of workers, with some getting permanent occupational hazards and loss of lives. However, with the advent of different social media platforms, some workers have come out to advocate for their rights, but those who have failed to adjust to the digital world, they have suffered secretly.
They are injured by machines, and most likely even diseased. Many diseases manifest themselves after a long period of exposure to bad conditions. Some workers are tortured, some workers are not treated like human beings, so that one makes the whole thing ugly.
Not only that, the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development is where about 10 ministries are supposed to be. But if you see the budget they give them, it's laughable.
The absence of a minimum wage policy has been an added advantage to employers and investors to over-exploit workers with little pay that isn't commensurate to their qualifications, experience and output. However, Workers MP Adenitwe Wakajara tabled the minimum wage bill in the 10th Parliament of over-exploitation of workers by their employers. The bill was anonymously passed by Parliament, but the President declined to assent to it into law. He returned it to Parliament for further scrutiny.
We want to warn the ministry officials, especially Ministry of Labour and the Electorate of Labour, that they should not disadvantage the workers of this country, because they are the ones that are misinforming the President of Uganda not to assent to the bill. However, the President promised us that he's going to give us a day where we are going to discuss issues concerning minimum wage bill. Because it was processed, it was done in good faith, it is a very good law that can earn workers of this country a minimum wage law.
But the onus is now between the President, the Parliament and Minister of Labour. For us, our work is over. We can only push the three institutions to finalize with the bill.
Employers are skeptical about the minimum wage policy if assented to by the Fountain of Honor into law. These claim that once assented to it may spike industrial unrests, but Wakajara is optimistic that if the bill is enacted into law, it will address some challenges affecting workers at their workplaces.
It should constitute the board, the minimum wage board. The board will be a representative board. Employers, employees, and government, so that they determine a minimum wage that can be friendly to government, to employers, to employees. It will increase productivity because workers will know that their representative negotiated and reached at a certain minimum wage of everybody that is acceptable.
Although the National Social Security Fund to provide social security services to employees in Uganda, it's on record that some organizations and companies have adamantly failed to subscribe to it.
The new act, which was amended recently, this is the best law we have. It safeguards the employer and the employee. And the employer, it's a must. They have to remit that money. If they don't, the law will catch up with them.
As the country celebrates the Labour Day, workers have been urged to advocate for their rights at workplaces.
That they should continue giving their labor, work hard, but once you are not in a workers' organization, which is an organized one and registered and known, that is a union, then you will always be exploited without information.
What I want to assure them that we are now focused. We are trying to see that the relevant laws, policies that are geared towards safeguarding the workers and also improving the workers' livelihood. And we are also trying to see that we push government to create more jobs and ensure that jobs are there for the young people.
The International Labour Day celebrations of 2022 was held at Kololo Ceremonial Ground under the theme Maintaining Safety and Security at the Workplace. Sandra Kahunde, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Well, away from the Labour Day celebrations and stories, the Muslim community in Uganda has been challenged to continue embracing peace, love and unity even after the fasting period, as it has been the norm during the Ramadan season. This is part of the congratulatory message to the Muslim community upon fulfilling one of the pillars of fasting in Islam.
Hundreds of Muslim believers will this Monday converge at different mosques and playgrounds across the country and the world at large for Eid al-Fitr prayers.
Of course, the month of Ramadan has come to an end, and indeed it is the holy month of Ramadan where we have been we have been a refresher course.
Amidst the skyrocketing fuel and commodity prices in Uganda, the Muslim community in Uganda has embraced the pillar of fasting in Islam.
I congratulate all of you for having fasted even under such trying moments.
Those who have shared with the needy during the fasting period have been helped.
We have been very close to the poor. We have been sharing the little we have with the poor, with the underprivileged. We have been very close to the Creator.
Amir Yunus Kamoga has also invited both the Muslim and non-Muslim communities to continue embracing the brotherhood exhibited during the holy month of Ramadan.
Just like we have worked together during the Ramadan season, let's carry forward the spirit of working together, loving each other and sharing.
Besides prayers, many Muslim believers are expected to hold celebrations. However, they are being encouraged not to differ from the religious norms.
I believe that we have attained a lot during this holy month of Ramadan. We have prayed, we have supplicated, we have tried to stick to the religious norms, and indeed this is what we are expected to do, even in the other 11th month.
This year's Open Eid celebrations in Uganda will be the first of its kind after 2 years of COVID restrictions, where only a few were allowed to converge for such prayers. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The Supreme Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Muwajjeh Galawuzi, has appealed to Muslims to continue heeding to their faith.
Ramadan fasting season calls for abandoning of ungodly acts and embracing repentance. The Supreme Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Muhammad Galawuzi, therefore appeals for Muslims across overboard to embrace their faith for better livelihoods.
Mwebale kusiiba tubakubiriza mwongere okukola obulungi ng'embadde mukola mu mwezi gwa Ramadan. Mwongere okweyisa obulungi ng'embadde mutambula mu mwezi gwa Ramadan. Kyobadde walekayo ng'oyeziyiza ku lw'omwezi gwa Ramadan n'oluvannyuma lw'okugwawo kwagwo, era sigala nga weeziyiza omanye nti Allah tasinzibwa kiseera wabula obudde bwonna alina okubeera nga asinzibwa.
He also reminds the faithful to always heed to the requirement of giving zakat fitri.
Mudde olwaleero eri abawalimu bammwe muwe zakatul fitri kulwokubanga kyekimu ku bitukuza ekisiibo kyaffe ng'owekitiibwa Nabbi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam bwe yatutegeeza n'aga zakatul fitri ekimu ku migaso gyayo tu'matun lil masakin.
The event was among others attended by Sheikh Sulaiman Lubega alias Gugwa. Lubega, however, watered down the media reports that he had abandoned the Chibuli sect and returned to Old Kampala.
Nze kaneeyogerere kennyini ana tahta amuraka Sheikh. Ndi wansi wani sibeerangako walala siyugangako okujjako bino ebyobufuzi ebyo nze mmanya bwe mbisamba, naye ndi wansi wa musajja ono, ndi wansi w'ekibuli ne mmala nvaayo taata wange ayinza okunkuba kibooko. Mukama wange jjo nabadde ne president, wallahi namugambye nti ebintu bibaaliko abasajja bifu, era wallahi yabadde akitegedde. Ripooti yazifunye ng'abasajja bamuyiiya buyiiya.
The main celebrant was Haji Sibyango Mubiru Mustafa, who also said that the dua prayers were for praying for his late parents as well as thanking God for having healed from a strange illness. Story compiled by Sekaja Jamiru for UBC News.
Well, UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories.
Need to send money to a loved one but you don't have enough on your phone? Have you run out of fuel but you don't have enough money? Do you want to pay for yaka or water but have insufficient funds? Or do you want to shop but you don't have enough money? Don't worry, get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial *165*5*3# to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. He wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network.
In preparation for the parliamentary and local government councils by-elections in Omoro County, Omoro District, the Electoral Commission will conduct a display of the National Voters Register for Omoro County constituency. The public display of the Voters Register will be conducted at each polling station within Omoro County from Monday the 25th of April to 4th of May 2022, starting at 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on each of the appointed dates, including weekends. The purpose of the display exercise is to enable voters to check for the correctness of their particulars, to confirm that photographs appear against correct particulars, to report to the display officer the following categories of persons: those who have died, the non-citizens, if any, those who are under 18 years of age, if any, and those who belong to another parish. Please note that there will also be a display of lists of persons recommended for deletion from the voters register for a period of 6 days from the 5th of May to the 10th of May 2022. The purpose of this supplementary display is to enable any person who may have been wrongly recommended for deletion to raise an objection to the parish tribunal. The parish or ward tribunal may reinstate the person if convinced of the genuineness of an objection.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m., 10 to 11 p.m. In more stories, 378 guns have been banned in Equator district under Silencing the Gun campaign, which is aimed at eliminating illegal guns from people. The Deputy Inspector of Police, Kasigazi Tumsime, led the exercise and appealed to Karamoja to embrace government programs to eradicate poverty. Now, the function was attended by officials from UPDF, police, Karamoja leaders and the locals.
At least 378 guns have been burnt under a campaign codenamed Silencing the Gun by the year 2030, which is aimed at eliminating illegal guns from people. Kotido leaders asked government to protect people and their property and eradicate poverty.
The Karamojong is himself by Karamojong, the animal that's a cow, and then the sorghum. If you separate one from the other two, things cannot move. So when you are coming to Mudu and we do what's called disarmament, we must first protect the cows. If we don't protect the cows, we shall be chasing air in the disarmament of Karamoja. Because if the reason why these Karashuna are going to trade, they are looking for what to eat. Poverty.
The Deputy Inspector of Police, Tumusime Kasigazi, urged Karamojong to embrace government programs like PMU.
Yes, government programs to defeat hunger, to defeat poverty. Ask for cows, ask for goats, ask for income generating.
Kasigazi assured Karamojong as government is ready to protect the borders.
As government, we have committed to protect you from guns coming from outside. You, on your part, support the government in identifying the criminals.
Kasigazi assured Karamojong as government is ready to protect the borders.
The us in uniform and the you in the wider community. We expect this to be a trust-building process so that you are not coerced into returning guns, but you volunteer to return them.
Area RDC Honoria Ambrose explained the challenges they face in this current disarmament.
When we go to the field to recover these weapons, the warriors give us conditions, and very tough conditions that nobody would accept. They sometimes prefer that we go and pick the guns from the bush. And the other condition is that we must not go with soldiers. And definitely we go without escorts, without soldiers to recover these weapons. That is how hard it is.
The 3rd Division Commander, Brigadier General Joseph Balikudembe, explained that errant soldiers are court-martialed.
We arrested here in Kotido, Moroto, and Patre Karenga that were involved in this act of selling bullets, and they are serving heavy sentences in the government prison.
The burnt guns were collected between 2018 and 2022. Kotido district ranked first with many guns, followed by Moroto, Kabong, Nabilatuk, Amudat.
Well, Oloka Japian, the former senior accountant assistant in the Ministry of Public Service, has been laid to rest in Tororo. Japians, who battled corruption cases at the anti-corruption until recently when they were dismissed from lack of evidence, has been described by his people as a developmental person.
Former accounts assistant at the Ministry of Public Service, David Oloka Japians, has been laid to rest. The deceased is said to have done several good things, including extension of electricity to his fellow residents, provision of clean water sources, and above all, providing free education scholarships to the disadvantaged children, among others.
If you went to his office, you would be amazed how many people flock there, from the least to the greatest. And they go there, and what he offers them, he will tell you, tell no one. But if you utilize whatever he has given you, then you move away from your poverty to another level.
One lady from Paya told me how 3 of her children were educated, not related to this guy, and yet one of them was educated to become a nun, a Mimbikra, a Catholic nun. David is an Anglican. That is the kind of person we are missing.
He gave relief. He's not a politician, he doesn't ask for votes, but he was giving relief in terms of posho, in terms of beans and others.
Japians who battled corruption cases at the anti-corruption until recently when they were dismissed for lack of evidence has been described by his people as a developmental man.
It is not only about Paya, it's not about Nagongera, it's not about Malaba. It's about, as I said, generally the Republic of Uganda. This guy helped anybody and each and anybody who came to his access. So meaning, wealth, as the priest said, is not something for us to accumulate, to take with ourselves to the brain, but to share, to the grace, but to share.
He loved the community of Padola. He sponsored so many musicians, including Muchope. I saw him here. He has sponsored so many other artists to produce several music pieces, Poxy, Madboy and others. So he wanted to see everybody excel.
The Bishop of Bukedi Diocese, Reverend Samuel Bogere Egesa, was the chief mourner.
Choose our with Airtel Money Quick Loans. Get a top-up loan when you have insufficient funds to buy airtime, pay utility bills, or make payments at a local supermarket. Complete your transaction and pay later. Dial *185*7*10# to opt in. Get an Airtel Money Quick Loan and pay later. Choose our with Airtel Money Quick Loans in partnership with Housing Finance Bank and powered by Yabex. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Pay for your dream phone, Mpola. Get your dream phone today for as low as 1,400 Uganda shillings with free data for a year and pay slowly. All phones come with daily 50 MBs for 12 months. Repayment period is 1 year. Available at MTN service centers and M-Kopa shops.
In our business stories, the Commissioner for Museums and Monuments, Rose Mwanja Nkali, has said government is committed to putting back to Chikorongo Equator Monument as a tourism attraction and for guidance. Rose Nkali says the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities has already secured a state-of-the-art artistic design for another monument after the previous one was removed.
So, my name is Dan. So here basically we demonstrate UFOs caused by the Earth's rotation. It's called the Coriolis force. So Coriolis was a Frenchman. He's the one who discovered the Earth rotates. So he said objects attached to the Earth's surface like hurricanes, giant storms. When they are spinning in the southern hemisphere, they spin clockwise. But here what is not attached to the Earth's surface spins anti-clockwise in the southern hemisphere. So we name here penguins. They only live in the southern hemisphere. So let's check if this Coriolis man was right. So we stabilize and see where it will go. So as it spins, it forms a vortex in the middle. The vortex is a speeding circle. In this case, it will come in the middle, that one. So when you pull the lift, you see it spin anti-clockwise. So that's how you know you are in the southern hemisphere. So the Earth's rotation is not only tested using this. In another experiment, they use a pendulum. It's called the Foucault pendulum. So Foucault was a Frenchman. For him, he used the pendulum to demonstrate how the Earth spins differently in different hemispheres. So we are going to cross to the northern hemisphere and we'll see what happens in the north.
Well, quite interesting. But moving on, still in business stories, sugarcane farmers in Luka district have gone into cocoa farming following frustrations of low prices and selling permits. Farmers believe cocoa will redeem them from the current challenges. Details follow.
A 5-member committee of the Uganda Sugarcane Growers Association has been formed to quickly put in place regulations governing the associations and the national chapter of sugarcane farmers. The committee consists of Benjamin Byarugaba, the former member of Chinyala Sugarcane Outgrowers Limited, as technical coordinator, Pade Mobiru from Buganda, Patrick Modongo from Mayuge Sugarcane Farmers, Robert Atugonza from Bunyoro Region, and Francis Ojui. Robert Atugonza, the chairperson of Masindi Sugarcane Outgrowers Association Limited, says the association is timely.
The Ministry of Trade wrote to all farmers associations in this country a month ago in the interest of actualizing the sugar board. Governance of sugar industry is supposed to be regulated by the sugar board. Now this sugar board is supposed to be constituted by 4 farmers, 3 millers, and the Minister of Trade itself, Minister of Finance, and Minister of Agriculture, chaired by the Minister of Trade. Now, we have been into the exercise of identifying the 4 farmers.
Atugonza says the board will help generate ideas among sugarcane growers. Benjamin Byarugaba says the sugar business has deteriorated in terms of costs and profits.
We also elected a 5-member committee which is supposed to quickly put up regulations that will govern the National Association. And in this committee, in addition to those 4 people, we have Benjamin Byarugaba, one of the former chairpersons of KSGL, to be part of that committee to quickly come up with guidelines on how we shall have the national chapter putting together farmers running.
The chairperson of Outgrowers from Hoima Sugar Factory, Singoma Max Francis, says farmers are facing challenges of Hoima Factory refusing to take in some of their canes.
Emyezi 25 omulimiti guli musango gwo baitu nosangira kimungu mu mazima gayijuyire omuntu wa buli kiro akumikirizibwa habwe factory bwire buno balesera ka drone akabakufuhire bikajo ni byoma niwe bikayijebe nibabitema kubita mu factory.
Choose our with Airtel Money Quick Loans. Get a top-up loan when you have insufficient funds to buy airtime, pay utility bills, or make payments at a local supermarket. Complete your transaction and pay later. Dial *185 *7 *10# to opt in. Get an Airtel Money Quick Loan and pay later. Choose our with Airtel Money Quick Loans in partnership with Housing Finance Bank and powered by Yabex. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Affordable packages, great entertainment,
sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies.
There is something for everybody.
Go TV, this is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Ugandan shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
We bring you a fresh, well-researched program to help you identify opportunities for investment, job creation, growing your entrepreneurial skills, wealth creation, and social transformation. Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Every week, we showcase opportunities for creating new products and services. Excellence in innovation, the passion and drive to succeed, and the right mindset to grow your business. Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Brought to you by Operation Wealth Creation.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight as we come to an end of the bulletin. UBC has won the World Press Freedom Day Gala, having played Parliament at the finals, who represented as the guest team. Now, over 30 media houses represented in the media gala, which took course at the Philip Omondi Stadium in Kampala, and it is the first of its kind. Rest TV took the second position, followed by BBS Television.
Tetugenda kutwala budde gaba birabo hampa zino zigenda twalibwa bannaffe aba parliament twala mu basajja ani ayina listi eyo twagala obukyala none other than Kachumba Parliament of Uganda. Parliament of Uganda. What is the top? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. UBC oye! UBC oye! UBC oye! UBC oye! Babakwasa ekikopo mwebale nnyo okubanga mwe muludde empanga. Twebaza nnyo Katima Sports City ne bannaffe bonna abataddemu ensimbi olunaku olwaleero. UBC!
Well, I guess whatever UBC touches just flourishes because we don't have failure in our mouths. Now, congratulations to UBC once again. In more sports stories, Federation of International Football Association has extended a women development project to Uganda. The project aims at developing women football leagues in the country. This comes with direct support towards women football clubs, including finance, equipment, and capacity building. Each of the 16 teams in the FUFA Elite League received jerseys, balls, among other playing equipment. Take a look.
I've always said that football, especially professional football, is about governance, and we need to improve the governance setup of our clubs. We need to answer questions of ownership properly, legally. We need to have statutes properly followed, properly written. We need to have the who does what proper and practice corporate governance principles. Things to do with banking, paying our players the way they're supposed to be paid, and all these things. The second pillar is always the business side. We need to generate revenues. We cannot depend on individuals getting in their pockets or institutions. We must grow. That can be for some time, but it will eventually get out. You see the men's football where it is challenging with costs which are huge, but not exactly generating, and we are still depending on institutions and individuals. As we are aware, the Federation, we have continued to support, and we also thank FIFA that during the period of COVID, when the funds were released, we were able to provide financial assistance, especially the clubs in the top league, up to about 40 million, I think that's over $12,000 each, and then also the clubs in the Elite League above 15 million, I think that's about maybe $5,000 as well. So this we thank FIFA for. We've got the resources, we gave them to the club, but this is nothing. We spend a lot of money. And as a country, we should be proud that the president of the football association, who is one of the highest decision makers, owns a football club playing women football. So I'm part of you. I understand what it means. There's no language we can talk about as clubs. I would also like to benefit. So whatever we can, we shall benefit. Whatever we can't, it means that we are just not able to get. But I would have loved to see that we have clubs that are properly financed. But this is not going to come from organic.
Well, that brings us to the end of UBC News Tonight today on the 1st of May 2022. Labor Day, we hope you rested enough and you're ready and rejuvenated for the next week. God bless. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sharon Chomdusha with Miguel Muhammad on Sign Language from the team, and I have a lovely night. And to all the Muslim brothers and sisters, Happy Eid Mubarak.